All right, there we go. That was a little bit confusing. That's right, Dee. Welcome, everybody. It is go time. We are essentially within the energies of the total lunar eclipse in Virgo. I did a video on that, which I'm sure many of you have found. If you haven't noticed it so far, I think it just came out today. So you're not very far behind. So we talked about a lot of the astrology on there. So we are going to talk a bit about that. But today we're mostly going to pull some cards and just get a feel for the energy and just check in with each other, see how everyone's doing. I am bringing up the chart on my computer, so I do have that to look at and sort of reference as we're going on here. Although there's really not a whole lot to look at with this one. Or there is a whole lot, depending on which perspective you want to view it from. But it's all mostly within Pisces and Aries that we've got all the action happening. So we know what we're working with here. We've got a Uranian influence. We've got some Mars influence going on. But essentially, it's Pisces, Virgo, Aries. These are the energies as we're moving through eclipse season here. Hello, Amber. Welcome. Ooh, I love that. Hello, Lindsay. Annika, as always, wonderful to see you. Appreciate having you. Some of you may hear the noise in the background. There is an attempt being made to put my son down for a nap. So if you hear some screaming, that's what's going on. He's fine. He just does not appreciate being told what to do. I can't imagine where he gets that from. So don't worry about it. All is fine. All is good. I anticipate if we do hear him, he'll pipe up at the perfect times as always, right? Oh, thank you. Yeah. Hello, Celeste. And we know it's going to change. I got into my office. I got home a little bit late. I had some appointments and stuff going on earlier today, and I hadn't heated up my office yet. So there's always that weird in-between time where the temperature is adjusting. So the beanie probably won't last very long. The sweater might not either, but we're just kind of working with the temps here. It is warming up in my little corner of the world, but it is still chilly. I'm essentially cold until the end of May, beginning of June. So hello, Psyduck. Just sending some love to my nettle tea. Still doing the nettle infusions. So how's everybody feeling? How's everyone doing with these energies? They're intense. They're intense. There's a whole reprogramming going on right now within us on a cellular level, on an emotional level, a mental level. There's so much that is shifting and changing here. Yeah. Terrible. Welcome. Says, oh, by the way, I love the play on words there. Terrible. Yeah. Insane is putting it lightly, right? Hello, Mystic Ray. Yeah. Hello, Miranda. Oh, we're getting a full house today. I love it. Yeah, I've surprisingly so far been doing mostly all right. And I always want to state those things cautiously, you know what I mean? The energies usually hit me out of the blue. You know, there's going to be a moment, I'm sure, as we're moving through the next few days. Definitely had, with me, honestly, the emotion that I feel most frequently is irritation. So I've definitely had bouts of that. Bouts of, reminiscing, those types of energies. It makes a lot of sense for us to be thinking about the past. One thing that I've noticed about myself is that I tend to live in the past quite frequently. That's more past or future, but there's a lot of that. It's pretty equally spaced for me. And that's something that I'm working on. Which I guess just means releasing all the things from the past that still draw me to that energy, while at the same time being continually deepening into a gratitude for the present moment, a presence in this journey and where I am along this path, and taking the actions in the present moment that are going to align me with a future that is so exciting when it becomes my present. That I'm no longer drawn to the past, you know. But I think it's a natural process as we're releasing, as we're letting go, that we think about the past, that we reminisce upon the past sometimes, past versions of ourselves, past situations, interactions, relations. Mercury, Venus retrograde is a big time for that for everyone as well. Sometimes just by allowing ourselves to be within those energies from an open heart space, there's a loosening of the bonds is the way that I want to put it right now, which is actually interestingly an astrology term when we're working with zodiacal releasing. So I find it fascinating that that's the term that came through as the loosening of the bond. This is a time period where bonds are going to be tightening or loosening depending on what is in alignment for us. We're going to get much more clear on who and what is within alignment with our energy. And we're really being called to step into alignment with our own hearts. Anger purging. Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's a big one. Thank you, Annika, for reminding everyone to go ahead and hit that like button. Please do. If you're watching this on the replay, please do the same. It does help the channel quite a bit. Hello, Haikigani. 17, that's my lucky number. I love it. Hello, Hayden. Hello, Thang Do. Love it. What else has been going on for me? Oh, I don't know. It'll come as we continue moving through the live stream today. I've really been working with that energy of being present. Of being present in the moment. Just being here right now. Releasing the control, releasing the need to figure out the future. Noticing all the signs and synchronicities because they're off the chain. I don't know about you guys and how you're doing. I mean, I've been seeing 2s and 8s have been the big numbers that I've been seeing lately. Let's see here. Anything that I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to mention about the astrology before we hop on into, I don't think so. I think we're going to get right into the reading here. That Virgo energy is coming through strong right now, though, as we're having this conversation. So I really feel that I'm a Virgo moon. So I resonate strongly with Virgo energy anyway, but there's a lot of that. I feel like when I've done the videos on the energies for March and particularly this eclipse as well, there's been a little bit of an overlooking of the Virgo energies because the Pisces and the Aries energies are so strong right now. But with this particular eclipse, that Virgo Pisces is really, really like that. The Virgo energy is the energy of purification. So it's playing a huge part in this process. And I'm really getting this feeling that working with the moonlight, yes, the total eclipse, obviously there's going to be darkness during the eclipse itself. But there's also there's this energy of being out during that time and really taking in the energies of the moon before and after. Not just charging your crystals and your water, although absolutely do that. I might do that. This would be the first time. I used to live out in more of an urban area where I couldn't really put things outside. Now I can. So I think I'm going to do that. Maybe make some moon water. I feel like what Spirit's saying is the moon water is really going to support us over the next 6 months. Like if we make a big jug of it and we sip on it and we just kind of space it out over the next 6 months with the integration of these energies. So, and all we have to do for moon water is get a big glass jug if you have it. Set it outside with some crystals in the bottom, quartz crystal. I'm feeling strongly quartz. Clear quartz. I think smoky quartz is safe to put in water too, so that could be good as well. Cameron, it's so funny you mentioned the Powerball. I'm not going to get into that, but that's just a funny synchronicity for me that you say that. Honestly, the way I feel about the Powerball, though, is if we're meant to win the Powerball, we don't need to know the numbers. All we have to do is go and get a pre-printed ticket, right, where the computer picks the numbers for you, and the right numbers will get chosen if that's what you're meant to do, if that's what you're meant to win. And it'll happen when you're ready. And we all have our own version of the lottery that we're aligning with if we are aligning with our internal abundance. All right, going back through here, I want to check in some of these messages. Yeah. Did any of you, so it was interesting. Hello, Hayden. Yeah, and that's that Pisces energy, Miranda, saying that it's been hard to stay in, to know which reality you're connected to, and hard to stay anchored in reality. That's the Pisces energy. Grounding was coming through really strongly for everyone. The importance of grounding, of staying connected to the earth. This is especially important when we're working with these Pisces energies. The Virgo, tapping into the Virgo energy can help with that, because it's not necessarily the most grounded of the earth signs, but it is an earth sign. All right, let's see. 11:10. Oh, I like it. 11 is the awakening code, right? And 10 is when we combine the independence of the self with spirit. That's a powerful co-creation number with spirit, the 10 energy. I would recommend Mystic Ray. My favorite website for angel numbers is called sacredscribes.com. They have really, really great descriptions of the angel numbers. So I would recommend going on there and seeing if that resonates with you. But yeah, one is independence, it's initiation. It's essentially like the Aries type energies, right? So 1-1, that is when we're really in alignment, when we're activating, we're awakening. When you see any repeating numbers, it's also a sign that you're receiving activations, that you're receiving energy activations. So and that you are in alignment. But then the individual numbers, if it doesn't have an individual meaning to you, it could have to do with that meaning of the awakening. And then the taking, I'm feeling for you 11-10, it's awakening and then taking inspired action. That's what it's feeling like to me. So if there's something you've been thinking about doing, I feel like 11-10 is trying to nudge you towards taking the step and letting you know that you are connected to spirit, and also letting you know that you are manifesting. When we see 111, it's a big sign that what we are to check our thoughts, because what we're thinking is rapidly manifesting into the physical world. And what Spirit's saying with 11-10, which is 1110, is also check your thoughts, because they are Spirit wants you to help you manifest your desires rapidly into the physical world, but you need to do your part by keeping your thoughts in alignment. So if you've been trying to manifest something, I feel like what Spirit's also wanting to tell you is make sure your thoughts and your vibration are in alignment with what it is that you're asking for. So I don't know if that's going to resonate for you, but that's what I'm feeling. And I would also say check out sacredscribes.com. Yeah, I should know this, but I'm actually not. What time, if I had my chart up, I would be able to see it. What was the time again for the eclipse tie? I don't even have the right thing up. I told you guys I was going to pull up the chart. I don't even have my email up here. Hold on a minute. I started and then I got distracted. What is mine? If I look at the chart time, 1:47 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, that's what it is now, EDT. Where I live. All right. So, yeah, 1:47 a.m. It'll be worth getting up for, staying up for, I think, or getting up for. Oh, really? Oh, you did water for the 4/8 eclipse? Oh, I love that, Ty. Get that solar water. So get the solar and the lunar water going on. That would be awesome, Dee, if you go to the ocean for our Patreon call tomorrow, holding down in that energy. Oh, well, you don't want to do that, Cameron. Says I spent my son's college fund on scratch-offs. Oh, boy. If you're going to do something like that, invest some of it into crypto instead. You have a much better, if you invest in coins that have utility instead of meme coins, you have a much better chance of those investments coming back to you at some point than if you just buy a ton of scratch-off tickets. I only buy scratch-off tickets when I feel that pull in my gut or my solar plexus. Maybe try practicing doing that, getting more in touch with your intuition that way. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Sacred Scribes is awesome. We got a bunch of fans of Sacred Scribes on here. A lot of people seeing 111, 234, 123. That is a real sign of alignment when you see the numbers in synchronistic time like that. Yep. Oh, look at that. Annika just threw the link in the chat. I'd be interested to know, since none of our links work on here, I wonder if that link works. Somebody try to click that on their phone and see if it works. If it does, then we know that some links work in the chat. It's just for some reason the links to join the channel or join the Patreon or any of that stuff aren't working. So that would be an interesting experiment to see if someone can click on that one. Of course it does. Well, at least something works. Maybe, I don't know. That's really bizarre, isn't it? I don't know. I don't even really know what to think about that. Unless you try like opening the link to like say the channel membership or something on a separate web page and then copying that and pasting it in the chat. Maybe it would work that way somehow. I don't know. All right, let's see here. Yeah, so I'm just really feeling that Virgo energy for us today. Just really tapping into that, working with those Virgoan themes, working with those Virgo energies. Really utilizing that grounded mental energy, that grounded mental focus. Yep. Sounds like my son won that battle. Self-care. When we move into Virgo season, it's always a time of working on self-care. So I really feel that highlight with that as well. Like we're going to be shown where it is that we need to invest more energy in ourselves. This is like a 7 of Pentacles type energy. So it's about really getting clear on what it is that we're investing our time, our energy into, whether that is aligned with our soul, whether that is feeding our soul, and really understanding. For some people, there's going to be a real importance in understanding this energy of, sorry, I was starting to read the comments and I got distracted. Understanding this energy here of, it'll come to me. Give me a second. Investing in ourselves and the importance of that as well. We're going to start with some regular, good old-fashioned Moonology cards here and see what messages want to come out here. Clear. Spirit, what do we need to know? It's that energy of worthiness too. Virgo is the energy, one of the energies that really exemplifies self-love. And we talked about this when we're talking about Venus retrograde, right? And the energies that Venus rules and the energies of self-worth with that Taurus energy too, interestingly enough. We have Taurus not only being one of the signs that Venus rules, but being the sign that Uranus is in right now, who is making very supportive aspects to this eclipse. Both the sun and Saturn and all the other planets connected to them, and the moon in the south node. So there's this powerful energy here of self-value, of self-worth, and all the reflections of that we see in our reality, which is these Venusian themes of relationships, love, money. These are big indicators of our level of self-worth. I'm actually planning on doing a class, a tarot class for those who are interested, Miranda. I know some people had expressed interest in that. So I'm thinking about doing that, maybe like a 3-week class or something like that, meet once a week. Clear. If people would really be interested in that, let me know in the comments below. What do we need to know as we're moving through this eclipse portal, Spirit? It is like a portal to a whole other version of ourselves. And this was something as well that came through. I think it came through in the video on the eclipse that I did for TikTok, actually. It was this energy of our higher selves, like our higher selves feeding us energy as we're moving through this eclipse portal. And I think it was interesting too, because didn't that come out in a live stream that we did recently? This energy of our higher selves connecting with us and sharing energy with us. Remember, it was like, I was seeing them like this. There was that card that came out. It's like the Two of Cups, and they were two people facing each other with their hands like this, exchanging energy. And that came through about our higher self exchanging energy with us. That energy came through again. So our higher selves and the future versions of us, that's what it was. The future versions of us are really working overtime to connect with us and guide us right now. Oh, perfect. All right. Yeah, I will definitely get on that, you guys. I'm going to be doing that. And I'm also looking toward doing an online Reiki class for anyone who's interested in learning Reiki. And I was thinking that with the class, I would create a community for people where we could meet once a month and do like a distance Reiki share and just have like a Q&A and just talk about how we're growing and evolving with the energy. So if that's something that people would be interested in too, I can do Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 certifications online. I mean, I could probably do all. I haven't done a Reiki master online, but I'm sure I could do that too. It wouldn't be any more difficult than doing the other 2 levels. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be something where more and more people are going to be wanting to learn as we're moving forward. We're all natural energy healers, right? It's an innate gift that already lives within us. So when you learn Reiki, it's not like you're being given this gift that you didn't have before. It's more the channel is being activated and you're being taught how to work with that energy consciously. That's really what it's all about. I think a lot of people get confused about that. So I would love to facilitate that as well if people think that that would be something that they'd be interested in. All right. Okay, thank you. All right, that's good confirmation for me that my intuition's on point. That people would be interested in that. Oh, you're getting your Reiki 2 attunement this weekend? Oh, that's awesome, Merlo Mia. I love it. Beautiful. All right, so what did we get out? Oh, this is fantastic. So the 2 cards that came out are luck is on your side and you're very close to achieving your goal. So for some, and Spirit's actually saying essentially for all, if they're open and willing, this eclipse season is really, it's like opening a doorway for us that's catapulting us into whatever this new timeline is that we've been aligning ourselves with, whatever it is that we've been aligning towards creating, towards manifesting. And what Spirit's saying is, even if you think that you haven't been manifesting anything, even if there's nothing that you've been consciously working towards, there is something that you've been manifesting unconsciously. And I don't mean this in the way of like we're all unconsciously manifesting if we're not paying attention to how we use our energy, because we're always creating our reality. I don't mean like creating on autopilot. I mean like you have been manifesting something. There has been a desire within your heart, even if you haven't spoken it, even if you haven't recognized it with your mind, and you have been being guided through synchronicities, through all of these little magical happenings to get to this point, to get to this place where that desire within your heart could be realized. It's like your intuition's been leading you, and you may not even fully recognize what it's been doing, but it's been leading you towards manifesting this dream that's been within your heart space that you haven't even been cognizant of. That's for some. For others, you're very cognizant, like I am, of what you're manifesting, what you're creating, and it's really coming forward into fruition. And so I'll share, like for me personally, I'm manifesting unlimited prosperity, abundance, freedom. All right. Knowing, of course, that I manifest that by recognizing first and foremost that I am all of that. Right. You could be manifesting anything. That's what I'm personally working towards in my own life. Where was I going with that? Why was I sharing that? Hold on. Hello, Madam Chakra. Welcome. I was going to share something about what I'm learning along that journey. That's why I started talking about that and what I'm personally manifesting here. But I feel like Spirit's not wanting me to share anything more about that right now. What I will share is that I'm not focusing on the individual ways and means of getting to that point. I'm trusting that my own higher self knows what prosperity and freedom means to me, knows what unlimited potential means to me, knows what I truly desire in that heart of hearts that we were just talking about, and is going to bring forth the opportunities, the inspirations that are going to align me with that. So I'm not worried about what that is or what that looks like. I have moments where I daydream and I visualize and I play, right? But I'm not really overly concerned with that. I trust my higher self to co-create with me the reality that is most aligned for me, the version of my highest self, my highest timeline. I trust that my higher self already knows what that is. I know what that's going to feel like for me. I have some ideas of the possibilities, the doors that that's going to open for me. And the rest I'm leaving up to spirit. I'm leaving up to my higher self. So I think the reason that I was guided to share that much with everybody was just to kind of help set that template for people of like, don't worry so much about all of the little specifics, but really think about how you want to feel, what you want to experience, how you want to be of service as well, the kind of impact that you want to be able to make on the world. And just know, like we said, there's a lot. This is Sagittarius. This is Jupiterian energy here. Oh, something I found really interesting about Jupiter that I didn't mention in the eclipse video is the fact that Jupiter is actually opposite the great attractor right now. So the great attractor is located at 14 degrees of Sag. Oh, isn't that funny? We got the Sag card too. And the Jupiter, is now at 13 degrees of Gemini, so almost directly opposite. So Jupy is pulling in some big vibes from that great attractor. He's pulling in some wisdom. He's working in tandem with Uranus, honestly, in a way, to connect us to our higher selves, to connect us to these infinite potentials and possibilities, and to help us become that point of attraction. So I'm really loving that and that Jupiter energy right now. Jupiter, if somebody's been wanting to work with a planet, like I took a class on planetary magic once. It was really fun. Like most things at that point in my life, I never actually finished it, but what I did do of it was pretty fun. If you're thinking of working with a planet, I feel like Jupiter is a really good planet to be working with right now. There's just something about Jupiter. Jupiter is always a good planet to be working with because he is the great benefic, right? So essentially speaking, there's really no negatives to Jupiter. You know, Jupiter can expand us a little bit beyond our britches sometimes. So we want some sort of stabilizing energy. So we're not just with our heads completely in the clouds, right? We need to practice some type of restraint. But it is a great energy. And I just feel, especially like over this next week or so with Jupiter right there at that 14 degrees of Gemini, 15 degrees of Gemini, that's a great time to work with Jupiter. Hello, Spartacus. Welcome. It's great to see you. Big Jupe, exactly. Yeah, Jupiter is one of my favorite planets too. Pluto, Uranus, and Jupiter. Clear. And Venus. I'm a big fan of Venus. Venus and Lilith. Oh, that's so funny. I just realized I have a T-square with those planets in my chart. It's so funny. Those are my favorite planets. Not Pluto, though. Pluto's not involved in that. Everyone else is, though. So that's funny. What's no fun, Amber? Love my Saggies. All right, we got new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. So those of us who are manifesting abundance, this is a big, strong yes. If somebody's been thinking about acting on an inspiration, acting upon a goal, this is a strong yes for that as well. Spirit's saying, take action on that. If it's involving contracts, if it's involving legal agreements, technological things, you might want to wait until after, until April or May, mid-April, end of April or May, ideally May. But like, it's a yes. Start taking some of the actions toward that today. Pluto conjunct the moon. Ooh, I love it. That's a nice moody energy there. Jupiter and Venus are your favorites, and they're near conjunct in your chart. Ooh, and Taurus. That's nice. I like that. That's a beautiful combination there. Yeah, I have a strong Pluto in my chart too, DR. Yeah. Pluto in Scorpio, which has a similar vibe to Pluto conjunct the moon. All right, in the 4th house, which is the Cancer house, the moon house. All right, let's see here. Yeah. Start that project. Take that risk, right? That calculated risk. Keep moving forward. For some of you, this is just about perseverance. This isn't a new idea. This is a goal or something that you've been working towards for a long time, and Spirit saying, keep going. Don't give up. You're almost there. You have almost achieved your goal. And of course, we know that as soon as we achieve a goal, we have another one. That's just the human nature, right? That's what keeps us striving forward, keeps us growing and evolving. But this particular goal, or this phase of this goal, you're about to see some real movement here. I'm seeing the eight of wands in my head. Hello, Eve. Start more projects in your case, Amber. What I'm feeling, Amber, is go through the projects that are currently underway. This is that 7 of Pentacles energy coming back up again. Which ones are you actually authentically interested in? Which ones are necessary? Which ones are make sense to continue? And which ones can you maybe drop if you're thinking about starting something new? It's about making sure you don't overload yourself. We got the full moon in Sag. So we got the new and the full moon in Sag here. A lot of Saggy energy coming out here. It's interesting too. I saw 1221 was one of the numbers that stood out to me when I was on my way home today. And that is, of course, during Sagittarius season. That is during the, or I guess that's at the end of Sagittarius season. It's around Sagittarius season. So it's the winter solstice, so it's technically it's beginning Capricorn, but there's this energy with Sagittarius here. I'm the Sagittarius season. Maybe there's a strong message in here for my Saggies here. Tell me more about this. Why do we have all this Sagittarius energy? Is this it's the energy of exploration? It's the 9th house energy, the Jupiter energy, coming back around to old Jupy again. So there's something here with good fortune, learning, expanding, beliefs. If you've been working on your belief systems, shifting those, changing those, this is a sign and a message that is, you've been very successful with that. And remember, we talked about this eclipse portal as the rewiring of the brain and how we saw that happening in the mind-heart coherence with Mercury and Venus retrograde here. So this is a very strong sign that it's like the final touches. Almost if you imagined all of the work that you've been doing on your perspective, the ways that you've been shifting and growing and changing, the shadow work that you've been doing, whatever it is that you've been doing. If you imagine that like baking a cake. And it's like this eclipse season is like the frosting on the cake. And there's going to be a conversation. There's going to be some piece of information that you stumble upon, one final book that you're being drawn to read, one final picture you're being drawn to paint, one final touch that's like the icing on the cake that's coming through during eclipse season here, or that you're being you're being guided along that path that's going to lead to that ultimate manifestation, that final piece that's missing. Oh, Eve, that's interesting. It's almost like somebody recognizing you throws you off. What is that? So what is that about? What do you feel? What do you feel when somebody recognizes something that you're and compliments something that you're doing? What's the immediate emotion that comes up, or the thought that pops into your mind? Pressure. Yep. This full moon's going to be powerful to release that with that Virgo energy present. Yeah, like all of a sudden you have to live up to their expectations. Like there weren't any expectations on you necessarily. Like your own expectations on yourself weren't as heavy until somebody else expressed appreciation, which then meant that they expected you to live up to some sort of ideal they had created in your mind or their minds around what you were doing, and then you instantly start worrying that you're not going to measure up. So that's the kind of thing, when you notice that happening, that's the kind of thing where you want to stop, get out a pen and paper, sit down, breathe into your heart space, and ask yourself, when is the first time that I can remember feeling this feeling? When is the first time that I can remember feeling as though somebody had expectations of me that I didn't know how to fulfill? Tap into that feeling. Sit and meditate, breathe into your heart space, and ask your higher self to show you when that you first encountered that energy, that fear, that pressure. That can be a really great way to get to the root of some of this stuff. Eve, that's so funny. My sister and her friends used to do the same exact thing to me. That is so funny. Yeah. Oh, I love that, Amber. Your daughter's creating. Yeah, that's so funny that we had that same experience. I think a great way to start healing that. Oh, no kidding. Oh, that's awesome. But then when their friends came over and they like it got time for you to perform, all of a sudden you were nervous. Do you still sing? Do you sing when you're by yourself still? Beautiful. Good. So what was their reaction? So what would happen when they would come over? Would you end up singing, or would your nerves get the best of you, and would you end up not doing it? I have a Virgo moon 2D. Did you feel like you were being judged by your sister, by their friends? You would sing turned around. Oh, that's so cute. And was that the first time that you felt like you were in the hot seat? Where you felt that pressure? Was that the very first time? Or is there a deeper memory of that? And you don't have to share on here. Just think about it. Get curious about it. Yeah. That was the first time, or there's another time? Yeah, think about it. Think about it. Feel into it. Feel into it, and then start asking yourself, what's the worst thing that could have happened in that scenario? What did you think what was the worst thing to you back then that might have happened if you had turned around and faced them? Start taking your mind down those different roads and see what comes up. Maybe journal about it. That's the quickest way to get to the root of a fear, is to continue to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? And keep asking that question. Keep asking it and keep asking it. That's the quickest way to get to the root of a fear. The quickest way to get to the root of a belief is to keep asking yourself, when is the first time that I felt this? When's the first time? When's the first time? And sometimes we don't remember, but sometimes we surprise ourselves with how much we remember, especially if we sit in meditation, if we get quiet. And what's the worst thing that would happen if you didn't meet your own standards? Well, so if you know what you can do, what does that mean because you know what you can do? So what's the worst thing that could happen if you didn't do as well as you knew you could do? Yeah, I do too, D. I love singing. My sister was just remembering that the other day. We were laughing about it, how she used to, her and her friends used to eavesdrop on me singing. She says I sounded terrible. I thought I sounded pretty good. I still do it when I'm alone at home now, or sometimes not even when I'm alone, but more often when I'm alone or when I'm in my car. Okay. So what's the worst thing that would happen if people thought you were a liar? And what would that mean? The knowledge of that. What would that mean to you? That other people thought you were a liar? What's the worst thing that would happen if you were misunderstood? We're getting to the root now. And what would it mean if you were good for nothing at the thing you thought you were great at? There's a belief. We're getting to some beliefs now. Yep. 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 Can't even trust my own judgment. Who am I to trust? Yeah. And what's the worst thing that would happen if you couldn't trust your judgment? If you had nobody to trust? Says I want to be heard, but also I hope nobody hears. Then you'd be alone. And what's the worst thing that would happen if you were alone? Then everything would be for naught. And what if everything were for naught? Then what? What's the worst thing that would happen as a result of that? Then what am I doing here? Why was I given useless talents? Are they useless? Yeah, and I think we all have some wound of abandonment, some fear of being alone, right? Fear of being judged, misunderstood. Madam Chakra says, if I'm alone, how do I connect to people? Because that's what I truly want and need, community and connection. That's what we all need, right? Yeah. If that's all you want, Eve, is to sing and play beautiful music, to bring that healing to others in that way, then that's definitely part of what you're here to do. So I think we just explored some stuff that there's going to be some energy stirred up from that. So that's some beautiful energy to release with this full moon, with this eclipse. To release those fears, to sit, maybe do some journaling around what's coming up right now, around some of those beliefs that started revealing themselves. That fear of being misunderstood, fear of being alone, of not being able to trust yourself, of others not trusting you, perhaps. That's a lot. There's a lot of powerful stuff there to let go. Maybe make a song about it. That's what I'm feeling. Use those beautiful creative gifts to alchemize that energy. Yeah, if it brings you joy and you feel that call, because it's different. Like for me, like singing to myself brings me joy, but I don't really feel the calling to sing for others. You know what I mean? It's not. I do all right for my vocal range, you know what I mean? And the fact that I smoked for 21 years up until recently. But like that's not going to be my calling specifically, but if it's yours, if you feel drawn, if it lights you up when you're able to do that. You know what I mean? So, own it. Own it. It's time to step back into that. It's time to let yourself be seen in little increments. And it starts by just releasing the heaviness of some of those feelings, some of those emotions that we've been processing, those belief systems that are ready to be shifted. Everyone should, yes, Madam Chakra, I agree. We are free. We are freedom. We are freedom. We are abundance. We are bliss. And every human being, that's the goal, right? That's the dream, is that we all experience that we all allow ourselves to, that we all get out of our own way for long enough to allow ourselves to experience that. Because nobody's blocking us from that except ourselves, ultimately, at the end of the day, right? Yeah. Hello, Tara. Yeah. And there is a liberation in being alone too, right? Particularly when we fear judgment, when we fear these things from other people. There's a beauty in being alone, and there's a beauty in being truly seen and recognized by people who can perceive you. Perceive the beauty and the truth of who you are. And that's that's my whole purpose here. That's all I'm here to do, is reflect back to all of you the beauty and the truth of who you are. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Great to see you, brother. Mommy Show Tunes is for a very particular audience. I'm a little jealous now, Eve. I bet you put on some amazing shows for your babies. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Eve. That was courageous of you to share as much as you did on here, to share with everyone. I feel like a lot of people benefited from that. I think there was some healing and some release for a lot of people along those lines, because those feelings and those energies and emotions they're universal. right? And we're also connected on here. So many of us experience the same things. I mean, you and I even experienced the same situation growing up, right? Like, how wild is that? Yeah. See, I'm somebody who really enjoys, my Venus is in Gemini. It's on the cusp of the 12th house though. So it's like in the 11th and the 12th. So I really enjoy interacting with people. I enjoy socializing, but I also enjoy pulling back into my own energy in my own cave. And I can stay there for pretty long amounts of time sometimes before I get that itch and I gotta get out and socialize again. I've been really isolated over the past few years, even before I had my son, and definitely very much since I've had him. So I appreciate all of you so much. You are my tether to the outside world in a lot of ways. And I don't know what I would do without all of you. So I appreciate you infinitely. You have no idea how much I appreciate you all and how much of a sanity saver you've been and continue to be for me. Yeah, thank you for sharing. That was beautiful. That was amazing. Yeah, so that self-judgment, all of those fears, it's like releasing all of that, letting that go. I was feeling too when we were talking about that, Eve, just as an aside, either a deep childhood memory or a past life memory that was creeping out there. I think if you meditate on all of this, maybe even listen to the replay, and like, I think that there's something that's going to reveal itself to you, a memory or something that's going to help you sort of unwind and release that energy. All right, getting back to this here. Do we have anything? I feel like I want to pull some tarot. Yeah, I do. Ooh, oh, you know what I want to do? I have a new deck here. The Elemental Empath Oracle. I'm going to pull a couple cards from this for everyone. These cards are beautiful. Oh, thank you, Eve. Yeah, I mean, we've all been growing and transitioning over the past few years. We really have. And it's really special, those of you, I love absolutely every single one of you, but those of you who've been here since the beginning, it's really beautiful to have been able to share this journey with you all this time. Clear. All right, let's get some cards for all of my beautiful elemental. Oh, it's the elemental. Did I say the awakened empath? For some reason, I read this deck. The title is the awakened empath, but it is the elemental empath. All right, let's see what guidance for this eclipse. Virgo eclipse. We have mindset here coming out. And this is air, I believe. Create reality, work with the subconscious, and befriend the mind. And this is basically what we were just doing, right? And what we were just talking about, this reprogramming the subconscious, the belief systems, getting those glimpses into the shadows here. That purifying of the mind. We talked about, and then the 9, once again, that Sagittarius energy, 9th house. 9 is also September, which is Virgo energy. So we got both of those energies coming out here. And the 8, surrender and flow. But there's something here with this. I think it was in the last reading, weren't we talking about it? Like the data dump of like all that extraneous energy in the mind and the heart just like kind of like dumping out of us. Like just being removed, like all the excess that we don't need. It's like I'm feeling that energy coming through. Like there's a real lightening of the energy within the mind. There's a great exercise. It's in the Akashic Records book that I was talking about a while ago that I was reading. And in the exercise, essentially you go through and you start out by becoming aware of each of your chakras. Oh no, that's the second part. The first part is just the mind part that I wanted to tell you guys. So the first part, essentially, you just center into your heart space, breathe into your heart space. And once you're connected in your heart space, you bring your attention around your head. And you almost imagine that you can see your thoughts as like whatever kind of energy they look like, sort of this cloud or this energy surrounding your head. And then you just imagine that all of this energy is just dissolving off into the light. And you let it dissolve and dissolve until all the energies around your head and shoulders are completely dematerialized. It's a way of clearing away your excess thoughts and mind energy. And then you imagine that you kind of focus on the area back here where you would have a high ponytail or just where, like, kind of like the back of your third eye. This version of the back. There's another back that's lower down here. So either one of these, really. And you notice the emptiness there, and then you bring your attention back to your heart space. So I feel like that meditation is going to be really powerful for people. And then you go through, and the second part of this 3-part meditation, the third part is the connecting it with the Akashic records. The second part is focusing on each of your main 7 chakras and just consciously activating them, and then setting the intention for them to all move into alignment. So they're in a straight line, the energy is aligned, moving up, and then activating what some people call the soul star, whatever you call, people have different names for it, the chakra up above your head here. And then your toroidal sphere, which is the energy that sort of flows from your heart up out the top of your crown, back through the root, up through the heart again, kind of out. Look up toroidal sphere or Taurus. You'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, Taurus, that's funny, but this is Taurus. But that first part, the dissolving the thoughts, that could be really powerful for some people. It's interesting too. I was seeing when I was talking about it, anyone who's a Harry Potter fan, you might remember Dumbledore in Harry Potter. There was a scene where Harry went to Dumbledore's office, and Dumbledore was sitting at his desk, and he was putting his wand to the top of his skull, and he was pulling these little slivers, these silver slivers that looked kind of like hairs, but they were like living almost. And they were all thoughts, and he was placing them in this, I think it was called a pensieve, like a play on pensive, right? And then like they would whirl around within the thing, and he could look at them, kind of examine them outside of his head. I don't know why that's coming to mind now. And I never put together that last part about how he was examining them again. He wasn't just taking them and putting them away to never look at again, though. He was taking them out and examining and like seeing them as the observer is sort of what the pensieve was allowing him to do, and then kind of like stir them up and sift through the thoughts. And it's like connect the dots where he hadn't connected them before. So there's something powerful about that too. It's the ability to be the observer of our thoughts, and to, it's like clear away all the thoughts, and then the ones that return are the ones that are the most relevant, maybe. Oh, your sister's going to Hawaii, Michael? Oh, I'm jealous too. We'll do a meetup in Hawaii at one point. Right now I'm looking into the energy of Sedona, but I would love to do Hawaii. That's a big one on my bucket list. Oh, you play piano and harp, Eve? Oh, that's so beautiful. Talk about an earth angel right there. Those are such beautiful, elegant, haunting instruments in a way, right? Oh, please, please, please start making music. Please start making music and share it with all of us. I bet it's so beautiful. So beautiful. You can lift and change the whole vibration of a room through frequency and energy through music. I feel like you have a powerful gift with that. I feel like you can activate people through your music. There's like light codes that are channeled through your music. And there's energies that are stirred up within people when they listen to you play and sing, because there's codes within your voice too. And I'm seeing an album. I'm seeing like you making a first album and calling it like Activation or something like that. Or Alchemy. Something with an A. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Even if you only make some of it and you put it on like a private YouTube playlist, and you just send it to a few of us or something to start out. Like, I just feel the power of that. There's such power there. Hell yeah. Yes, yes. I think even if nothing else comes out of this live stream today, except whatever we all just received and the fact that you start making music again, that's enough. Just if you start really get like, oh my God. I feel that the contribution and the lightness that's bringing to the world. I really do. I can feel that right now. Can you guys feel that? Ooh, you see colors. There's a name for that, Tara, when you see colors. Synesthesia, is that what it is? When you see colors, when you hear music? Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. And I think that that's just being more in touch. There's like aspects of your brain chemistry and your energy that are just more in touch with the new earth energies. Because in the new earth energies, in the 5D, all of our senses blend together. They're not separated like they are here. That's just another another aspect of the illusion of separation that we experience in the 3D. Right? Because think about it, like all of that's how you activate your theta brainwave and these higher brainwaves is through using your third eye to sense and feel and see. And all these things that we attribute to outer senses, right? They're all merged together. They're all one. And so, like that's people who have those gifts, you're just already merging more in with that energy. There's aspects of your consciousness and your physiology that are already tapped into those energies. Like eventually we're all going to be able to taste sounds, right? And to see sounds and all of the different things. I'm a Cancer ascendant, Haneen. And welcome, by the way. I don't know if I welcomed you or not. Yeah. I would love to have, like, when we hear Eve's music, Tara, I would love to, like, get your impression of, like, what you experienced when you listened to it, what you saw. Yeah. All right. So we've got that mindset that we've got the surrender and flow here. Riding the waves, letting go, releasing. And notice how, so she's in the clouds, right? So we got the air and the water energies here. And then we got the abundance on the bottom of the deck, and it is the year of the snake. So I love that this is with the snake here wrapped around her. Yeah. Yeah, some people don't like to share about their astrology placements. I don't really worry about it. I know that people who know what they're doing with that information, they can gain a lot of. It's kind of like having some of the windows into your soul in a sense. But I don't worry so much about that. I like to compare with other people and notice where we have similarities or connections. I love talking about my astrology chart and my different things. So let's see here. These are the keys to abundance right here. The 10 being the abundance, the transformation. This is the transformation this year, is that transformation into abundance, whatever that means for you. Right? Because a lot of people think of money when they hear abundance. It's not the only thing that abundance means. It means different things to other people. It's that state of overflow, that state of fulfillment. This is following your path, your dharma, which naturally, when you fully align with that, opens up the gateways of abundance. So, looking with this, these are the keys right here. Surrender, which is very Pisces, right? Surrender and what was this? Mindset. Work on the mindset, work on the mental energy, work on the belief systems. Surrender them, surrender everything that you cannot control, which is pretty much everything, right? Except for your own decisions, your own words, your own actions. You feel 20 again? I'm trying to figure out what that's in reference to, but whatever it is, I love it. You bought a big boombox for your car. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. It's funny. I was just thinking about that recently too. Just this energy of how, like, we used to listen to music out loud, and then Spotify and all of these online platforms for music came out. And all of a sudden, nobody was buying CDs anymore or even burning CDs, right? Like was happening during my school years, my later school years. Nobody was doing any of that stuff. Nobody was using Walkmans or everything was just, it's AirPods and earbuds and headphones and just playing it on your phone, which your phone has compared to like a speaker that has like real good bass and real, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something about hearing music out loud. Similar to when you go to a concert, you know what I mean? There's a different vibe, a different frequency to it. So I was actually thinking about that the other day and how I wanted to bust out my speakers more and actually play my music and feel like all the full frequency of it. It doesn't move through your body the same way when you just listen to it in your headphones or something, as opposed to when you're playing it through speakers or something like that. The original iPod was a game changer for me, Amber says. Yeah, I was that person who was like really poor and also really behind in technology. So like I walked around with a Discman for years after iPods and all of that stuff came out. And whatever the first one was there one before the iPod, or was the iPod, whatever the, the little ones that you would walk around with? I still had a Discman and I walked everywhere because I didn't get a license until I was like almost 30 years old. So I walked everywhere that I went and I had these big ass headphones with this Discman balanced on the palm of my hand. It was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. MP3 player. Sorry, that's the words I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get an MP3 player until I was like, I had already graduated high school. Like it was years after, I think. I was like 20, probably like in my early 20s when I got an MP3 player. It was ridiculous. I was just always with my Discman. You know what I mean? But when I was home, I was listening, I had the radio on or my stereo going. I had a nice stereo. The music was playing out loud, not just in my head. You know what I mean? Oh, that's interesting. Listening to a CD player in 3rd grade at recess. Yeah. You still don't have a license, Eve? Oh, I'm so grateful that I have one now. I can't even imagine how I lived before without one, but I did, And Spirit always put me in the places and the situations where I was able to have the resources that I needed in close enough proximity. It was kind of like you could really see like God guiding my life, or whatever you want to call that force or energy, when you looked at things like that. Like I was always within walking distance of a job, like I always, I had enough support around me, enough transportation around me. But yeah, there is definitely a freedom with having a license. There truly is. And I'm so grateful for it now. But yeah, wasn't until I was 29, almost 30, that I got my license. Yep. Tapes. Yeah, I love it. I remember cassette tapes too. Yep. Dr. Corrupt. If you want to donate to my channel, there are links in the description box below. There's also a button, like a share button or something on my channel. It should be right on the video, but the links in the description box are definitely helpful because those go directly to me. If you really truly do want to do that, you are more than welcome to. I am open to receive. But I want to thank everyone for everything, all of the conversation, the energy, the being in your heart space, the just being here, being present, liking and sharing the live stream. All of those things are beautiful donations and beautiful exchanges of energy as well. So I appreciate all the forms that the abundance comes in, right? Right here. Yeah, tap into flow state, right? So this is about aligning with that energy where you are just tapped into your heart. You're allowing your body and your heart to lead you, to guide you to where it is that you want to go, where it is that you need to go, right? You're trusting in that process. You're not trying to control circumstances, situations. Oh, thank you, Amber. That's very sweet. Yeah. Oh, I think I lost all my cassette tapes, Michael. I lost my DVDs too. Actually, my partner and I were talking about this the other night because we were talking about the movie Dogma and how apparently Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith sold Dogma to, I think it was, God, I don't want to say not Epstein. Who did they sell it to? They sold it to somebody controversial who like it's not available on any streaming platforms or anything like that. Like it's a little hard to find now. And so we were talking about that because I used to own that on DVD. That's one of my favorite movies, or it was one of my favorite movies. So yeah, Yeah, I think I lost all my cassette tapes and DVDs and all of that stuff. You know what I really wish though? I wish that I had been around for records. Because all of the people that I've talked to who used to listen to records, they said there was when we're talking about the vibration and the energy of the music, they're saying there was something about the sound of a record being played that had like the quality of that you couldn't really compare to anything else. And everyone's reminiscent about their youth or whatever, but they really seem very convinced of that. So there's just something about records that and that era and that energy that I do kind of wish that I had experienced. I mean, I experienced it like, there were like DJs and stuff like that who would still spin vinyl in my early rave days and stuff like that. So I kind of experienced it in that regard. But not just like popping on a record and letting it play, you know what I mean? Yeah. You listen to them for that reason, Ty. So do you find that there is like a different kind of sound to them? Nobody's stopping you from bopping some oldies. It's true. I don't own a record player. I never have. It's something that I've always thought about, though. I think that was an okay comment right there. I liked the term bopping some oldies. Oh, what's going on, Abhishek? And welcome, by the way. And Boogie Fang, welcome. Oh, you got your dad's record collection. That's cool. Yeah, no kidding. I got my mom, maybe I should go over and have her play some records for me, because I got my mom this, and I don't know if it's as good as like an old authentic record player, but I got her many, many years ago now. One of these combination players where it had a record player in the top, and then it had cassette, and it had CDs, and it had the stereo. So it had all of these different ways that you could play music. Oh, do we have a member just join the channel? Woo! Tara, welcome to the Cosmic Rebel Tribe. All right, we got a new member. Beautiful. Woohoo! Now, did you go to the link in the bio, or did the link actually work in the profile this time? Really? Okay. Sporgor says, on digital vinyl, it just pops all the kicks, snares, etc. Sounds so much more crisp. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I really need to do this now. Like it's just, I think it's like the cheapskate in me too, where I'm just like, oh my God, then I got to buy a record player. Then I got to buy all these records. But I really want to experiment with that. I want to just be able to compare the energy. There's something, it's like, everything is frequency and vibration. It's all about that. The more we can really continue connecting in with that energy moving forward, the more powerful it's going to be for us in all the ways. More organic, Dee says, the records. Yeah, age is a weird thing, Eve. We're not even going to get into that. Yeah. Oh, Tara joined the channel membership, Dee. We have a channel membership as well as the Patreon. They're two separate entities. All right, let's see. Where were we? I don't know. We keep getting distracted having these fantastic conversations here. Is there anything in particular? I know Michael probably wants a crystal card before we close this off here. I feel like this eclipse season is really this process of rerouting, realigning us with, and it always is, right? Eclipse season always does this, with our true north, with our highest path moving forward. And there's something with this eclipse being that we're working, and we're going to have a lot of eclipses. We have the Aries eclipse on the 29th. Other than that, all the eclipses this year are in either Virgo or Pisces. So we're working with that axis really powerfully. We're working with this energy of service. And so I feel for a lot of us, a lot of people who have known that they had a purpose in the sense of like, and we all have a purpose. We have a million purposes, right? It evolves as we do, as we always say. But those who really felt like there was a powerful life purpose that they just couldn't figure out, they couldn't access it, they couldn't touch it yet. They knew that you knew that you were here to give back. You knew that you were here to activate, to awaken, to assist the collective in some way. You felt that call to serve deep within your bones, but you just had no idea how to do it or what your medicine was, as they say. I feel like this eclipse season is going to show you that. For many, it's going to show you that through showing you what you have to heal and giving you the tools to complete that process. There's a major energy of completion here, not just around what we're trying to create or manifest, but around what it is that we've been working on healing, what we've been working on shifting. This is a powerful shift, this energy here. And it's shifting us into our calling. And it's revealing that to us on a deeper level. It's almost like the way I'm being shown right now is like that calling is awakening from our cellular memory. It is awakening within our very DNA. And so Spirit's saying, don't worry, if you resonated with this energy of knowing that you're here for a purpose, but you haven't been able to figure out, how do I give back? What do I do? What is the way that I'm meant to show up for others in this world? You are going to know, baby, because it is going to become crystal clear. Just follow the path. Follow the nudges, follow the synchronicities, follow your heart, follow your inner guidance. Like we are all being moved into alignment. We're being put into position right now because this energy is cranking up. It is ramping up and we all have different parts to play. We've been playing different parts in this process our whole lives, whether we recognize it or not. But now there's a very conscious part that each of us is meant to play. And it's going to become clear and we're going to know we're going to feel it in our bodies. We're going to feel it in our souls. So do not waste your time trying to figure out your purpose, trying to figure out why you're here, trying to figure out what you're meant to do. It's all becoming clear. Just continue surrendering and going with the flow. Where is the energy taking you? Where is your heart taking you? What are you healing? Because what you come here to heal, what you come here to achieve, to express, to experience, that is the gift that you're meant to give the world. But you got to give it to yourself first, or you got to get that ball rolling. All right. Dee says, me and my arrow, we all have a point. I love that. The arrow, once again, the Sagittarius themes, man. I'm telling you guys, I don't know if it's Sagittarius season that we're picking up on here. I don't know if it's just embodying that Sagittarian energy. I don't know what it is about Sagittarius, but that, like, everything just keeps pointing back to Sag. And then I look down and what's left on the bottom of the deck here. And this card says, look at the bigger picture. So there's a bigger picture emerging here. Spirit's saying, don't waste your time. Remember, fear is a misuse. Fear and worry are misuses of imagination. Don't waste your time. Do not misuse your imagination, worrying, stressing out, hyper-focusing on things that don't effing matter. All right? Expand your awareness. Expand your perspective. Don't get stuck in the petty. Don't get stuck in and Virgo energy. This can happen to very easily. All right? This is rising us up out of the pettiness of our own repetitive thoughts, the pettiness of our interactions with ourselves, with the world in general, that are pointless. I hate saying pointless, but you know what I mean? It's like the hamster wheel of the mind is pointless, right? The stressing out about things we can't control is pointless. There's so many things where it's like, we're going to start realizing where we are wasting our time, for lack of, like, just to put it bluntly. And we're going to start seeing the bigger picture, and we're going to start seeing how we can contribute, how we can call back that wasted energy and channel it more productively toward something with a focus. Hello, Smiling Clover. Blessings to you as well. All right. I'm going to get a couple of angel number cards, I think. And then we'll do a crystal card to close here. We got the sun. Shine your light, baby. All right, what messages do we have? Saw 420 there, which is all about potential opportunities, adventure, goals. Clear. All right, let's get a couple of angel numbers. Some guidance for my collective here. All my beautiful earth angels, earth warriors, cosmic warriors, cosmic rebels. This deck has a strange smell to it. That's interesting. I don't typically pick up on things like that. I think this one needs to be saged. All right, we were talking about what? Oh my God, this is so funny. We've got 1 here, and then we've got 10, 10. So who was I talking to? They were saying 11 and 10 were the numbers they were saying. I can't remember who I was talking to, but that's wicked funny that this is what we got here. And I know somebody had asked if they could ask a question. I'm not sure if I saw their question or not. So if there was a question attached to that I didn't see, if you could repeat your question. It was Abhishek, I think. Unless that question got removed because it was inappropriate, in which case then we'll just continue moving on. So 1 is put the self first. Fill your own cup. Put on your own oxygen mask, essentially. And 10-10 is about embracing the journey, trusting in yourself, trusting in your path, being in alignment. Yeah, those are all alignment numbers there, Madam Chakra. Yep. Yep. So let's see. 10-10 is about bringing your ideas to life, the right people, circumstances, and resources aligning in your favor, new opportunities, and for happiness on the horizon. That's gorgeous energy. And the question is, what steps can I take to embrace the journey ahead? How can I stay open to the new opportunities being sent my way? Take a moment to reflect on your long-held dreams and ideas. Begin implementing 1 step at a time, trusting that the universe is sending you the support that you need. And that feels like an affirmation. They don't have affirmations on here, but I feel like they should. And the affirmation would be, I trust that the universe is sending me all the support that I need. I trust that my dreams and aspirations are all materializing in perfect divine time. That's what I feel like the aspirations here. And the 1, like we said, is about independence, confidence, authenticity, new beginnings, self-pursuit. That's that Aries energy, like we said. So this is about being who you are, standing in your truth, allowing yourself to be the focus of your time and energy, pouring into yourself, investing in yourself. Didn't we talk about that at the beginning of this reading? What steps can I take today to honor my independence and stay true to myself? And take time today to set a clear intention for a new beginning in your life. Focus on what truly matters to you and take 1 small step toward achieving it. So both of these cards talk about taking 1 small step, 1 step at a time. And I believe we had talked about that earlier too. So that energy really coming through strongly. Hello, Plune Beautiful. And so it is, Madam Chakra. And then we got 5-5, energy of change. This is also in this card, the energy of gratitude. And it's really interesting. So I've been listening because I've been working a lot on my physical health and getting in shape and all of these different things, supporting my body physically through what I'm eating, through exercise, through diet, all of these different things. And I was listening to this one guy talk. And at one point, he said that he recommended everybody start implementing and taking vitamin G. And he paused for a moment and he was like, Now, I know you're probably going to ask me if I have an affiliate link for that or where you can pick up some vitamin G. It's not something that you can buy. Vitamin G is gratitude, and I highly recommend it. It has a powerful physiological effect on your being. And I started laughing. I loved it. So I'm feeling that vitamin G here with the gratitude, with the 5-5 energy here. This is about contentment, reciprocity. And this is just what we said, what we just said, you guys. Stop dwelling on problems you cannot solve or situations that bring you down. Embrace gratitude and reciprocity for what life offers. Remember, I chose it and I love it. And you will align with your soul's desires. What are 3 things I am grateful for today? And how can this shift in focus help me align with my soul's desires? And this is about making gratitude lists, expressing appreciation as often as possible, and allowing yourself to feel content with what you have while remaining open to continue to receive more. And this is like, I'm literally seeing this, like every time something happens in your reality, say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. You know what I mean? It might be a little tongue in cheek sometimes, depending on what's going on, but I'm just really feeling that as being powerful. And then we have 1133, the crossroads energy, as I cut the deck here. And this is all about being at that crossroads, being at that choice point. This is very 2 of Swords energy here. Trusting your intuition and your gut to guide you through any powerful decisions that need to be made at this time. And I'm also getting the message, don't allow yourself to be forced to act before it's time. You'll know intuitively when it's time to act. So trust your intuition. And then 818, breaking old patterns, mindsets and cycles. So that's the beliefs work. This is everything we're talking about with freeing our perspective. Yeah. Liberating ourselves from negative thought patterns. Looking at everything that we're investing our time and energy in right now and ensuring that it is serving us. And if it's not clear, how can we realign or reinvent it so that it serves us better? All right. Clear. What crystal? Oh, that was quick. Got selenite coming out. Love selenite here. Take in the light language on this card. Selenite is one of the highest vibrational crystals available to mankind. It cleanses and clears any other crystals it connects with. It is self-clearing. It is water soluble, so do not put this in water. Do not create any type of moon water with this crystal. But it is a beautiful, beautiful stone. And it is one that I have sort of lost most of my pieces of over the years. And I definitely need to upgrade my collection with here. Okay. Let's see. Having difficulty finding it in the book. Give me a second here. There we go. All right. I'm going to hold this up while we read about it. You've been getting on 5. You've been getting 5s. I love it. Yes. All right. The Master Crystal Deva of selenite is Merkabel. And Merkabel says, let the silver white aura of Earth's liquid fire surround you. My calm warmth will still and calm the mind and emotions. Too long has the door to your spiritual guidance been conditional. I hold the key and we have initiated this most holy of unions. History lives in me, the mother's life and blessing. For now a single star that I am, carry me from below your feet to the center of universal love that you are. Shine now in the infinite light of us. My energies have lifted you to a new high. Open the highest parts of self and reintegrate the mind of spirit. Linked now in my embrace, the clearest states attainable, the direct link to the unlimited source you are. In my liquid white fire, you are free. The phoenix has flown, its message heard and realized. Brothers and sisters of the great bear, for you I have a special gift. Enter my presence and let my liquid light embrace remind you. I paused there at the great bear because I've never heard that before. I was like, I like it though. So let's see. Selenite has many types and formations, some of which are known as gypsum, desert rose, and satin spar. Let's see. It is a crystal of spiritual guidance, and it opens us to our friends and other frequencies and aids in the translation of what they offer to us. So if your guides are talking in riddles, pick up some selenite and you might be able to understand them a bit better. I see so many funny memes and like little reels about that online. It's quite a mental stone, able to manifest the clearest state of mind available and hold it open to embrace the advanced concepts of spirit and the universe. This powerful effect on the mind flows over into the emotional body, allowing one to be emotionally calm and controlled, fostering love for self. Oh my God, this is a great crystal for that balancing of the head and the heart with the Mercury-Venus retrograde that we've been talking about. It holds one of the most powerful activation energies on Earth. It is an activator of the higher chakras, powerfully activating the soul star and crown chakra, allowing the embrace of spiritual content with understanding. Selenite can also activate telepathic communication, past life communication, and can be of use to clean and clear the physical and energy bodies. You can literally comb it through your aura to clear your aura. Selenite is a powerful link to the Pleiadian star system and many and some associated wisdoms and paths of service that must be completed now. And may in some open associated wisdoms and paths of service. Isn't that so funny? We were just talking about our paths of service being illuminated. With turquoise, selenite may allow one to speak directly with the earth and facilitate her balance via grid work. And liquid crystal direct earth dosing. Interesting. At the physical level, it's used for disorders of the prostate, the bones, spinal misalignment, and lowered flexibility. It can increase the milk production in lactating mothers, and it is an anti-aging stone. I love this. If selenite has come to you today, there are beings with information that is ready and available for you on the inner plane. This information and guidance is relevant to current circumstances and situations, as well as your spiritual growth, and very often your purpose on Earth. It is worth noting that selenite only comes when the ability to receive the information from spirit has already been mastered. One of the best ways to get this information is to do a little automatic writing. Sit quietly with a pen in your hand, keep an open mind and listen. Write down whatever comes. It is best to not read what you are writing and to read it later. Often yawning can help loosen the throat chakra and facilitate the entire process. When we're in theta brainwaves or some of these other brainwaves, yawning also tends to happen a lot, which is interesting. It's also a purge. So there's lots of interesting energy with yawning. Let's see here. Alternately set up a meeting time with spirit on the astral plane to collect the information in the dream state. Jade and apophyllite can help with this. Selenite is a sacred stone to the Pleiadian star system, so they may be contacting you. It's also powerfully connected to cats, and if you have one, it has a message. Their principal wisdoms are in the flame of love and heard through the heart. Sit, listen, and feel. And the affirmation is, I am the eternal voice of spirit. And I'm feeling for some, you may want to work with a grounding crystal as well when you're working with selenite, especially if you tend to feel that you're not very grounded. Also here, if you're looking to contact the Pleiadians, placed at the base chakra is the best way to work with selenite. As well as the symbol can be drawn in the palms of the hands. That's the symbol right there. And then, of course, the soul star, solar plexus, and it facilitates channeling at the throat chakra. So a whole lot going on there. Ooh. So this is a good one. We're talking about overcoming your fears, right? The place, surrender to the fear trinity. And this places hidden fears into the hands of spirit. Black coral on the lower left side of the chest, selenite on the crown chakra, and lapis lazuli on the right lower side of the chest. So I feel like somebody may find that interesting. That's for surrendering hidden fears to spirit. And if you're working to expand your channeling skills, balancing all the pathways needed for spirit communication, place selenite on the crown chakra, angelite on the third eye, and turquoise on the throat. The light quotient expansion trinity, which increases the level of light in the body cells at rest, which can be good for alleviating some of those ascension symptoms. Places bloodstone on the lower left side of the chest, selenite on the heart, and clear calcite on the lower right side of the chest. Light is drawn into the body at the heart and expanded through the entire self. And I would imagine you would visualize that as you're laying there. I'm feeling about 20 minutes of that. And that one feels like it should be done. I'm feeling like 7 days for some reason. 3 to 7 days using your intuition. Yeah, my ears are ringing. Yeah. So anyone who's wanting to play a little bit more, remember, I'm not a doctor. These are Atlantean prescriptions from the times of Atlantis that we used to use when working with crystals. Liquid Crystal Oracle. This is what I'm reading from here. 4 kids deep. I'm lucky I remember my own name. My hat goes off to you. 1 and I'm done, you know. My hat goes off to you. Oh, Tara says I yawned when you said yawn. That's perfect. Yes. Yes, we'll remind you about the selenite moment, D. Looking over the rest of the comments. Oh, no kidding, Amber. That's interesting. What kind of box was, so that was where the electricity was, the box on the pole that she was talking about? She was hearing the frequency within that? What do you mean you can't write, Michael? If you can't write, like physically, if you're saying you cannot write, I use voice, my voice to text. I've been recording my dreams again with my voice to text. And I type, my hands get really tired really quickly. So I can't hold a pen for long periods of time. My hand starts cramping up. So I type, and then I also use like the voice to text if I'm on my phone. Voice memos, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel that. Absolutely. All right, and for some reason, I'm wanting to pull the Black Moon Astrology deck's tugging at me here. So we're gonna close with another card from this before we go. And then on the bottom of the deck is pink tourmaline, just so everyone knows this is about self-love, that gift of love, opening up that heart chakra, expanding that heart chakra, which will go hand in hand with expanding the light body, right? The heart is a portal to the 5th dimension. It is the center, the electromagnetic center of our being. Clear. Hello, Grim X. I am asked that all the time. I am simply somebody who loves the color black and is not super keen on labels and just happens to be naturally pale. So do with that what you will. And then lodestone, which is interesting. This is all about earth embrace, so connecting with the earth. And lapis was mentioned in the other card, so I think it's interesting that lapis is underneath that. And then diamond, which is also about the light body. So interesting energies there. Diamonds could use our help and assistance as well. Oh, thank you. No, I don't mind that people think that I'm gothic. It's just, it's been since I was in high school, which is really interesting. It's just, it's a vibe or something that I must give off, I guess. So I think it's really funny. People ask me that all the time still. Diamonds were, their energy was hijacked in a lot of ways. If we look at the false matrix, if we look at the diamond market, if we look at all of the horrors and atrocities that go on around the diamond trade, if we even look at like the weird energies of ownership with marriage and stuff like that, I feel like there's a lot of strange dark magic associated with diamonds. And I think that it has to do with their power and wanting to harvest that power and use it in a negative way. So diamonds, I feel really calling to us to assist them in uplifting their vibration and freeing them from any sort of black magic they've been attached to, and setting that intention to restore them to their original and true frequency, their most organic and divine blueprint. There was when I talk about stuff like this, I remember if you go to the playlist tab in my playlists, I have a couple aura sessions, excerpts from aura sessions, regressions that I did with people. And there's one about the ways of positively polarizing technology through restoring the organic blueprint within the crystals and organic biological materials used within these technologies. So some people might want to watch that. It's really powerful. I feel like the diamonds are especially calling out to us for that clearing at this time. I know it's a good chat today. Yeah. I mean, I don't think when anybody asks me about being Gothic, I don't think it's like an insult by any means. I think they're just curious. And I always find it amusing. I don't know. I know that there's quite a few people on this channel. We've talked about it before who really like wearing black. Do you guys get that too? I'm curious to know if it's like a vibe that I put off or if it really mostly has to do with my clothing and my eyeliner. Like, I'm not really sure. I guess tattoos associated with being Gothic now. Back when I was like in high school, like people didn't really have tattoos, were still not as commonplace as they are today. Not to say that people didn't have them, but that wasn't necessarily part of the look. But I feel like that's part of any more like anti-establishment or type of look, right? Tattoos. Even though these days, some people have pointed out that it's almost more rare to not have tattoos in today's world than it is to have them. So it's almost a more rebellious act not to get tattooed in a lot of ways. So we have the Aquarius card coming out, the Grand Cross, and the lunar eclipse. So this is just major change here. Major change. This is also, I'm feeling like on a collective level, Spirit's also saying that there's going to be major associations with technology. Like, how am I wanting to put this right now? Not as advances. There we go. Some powerful technological advances coming during this month, during this eclipse portal, that are really going to change the world. And there's a lot of energies. Oh, this is interesting. This is a little bit, honestly, creepy, you guys. So I'm looking at this. See the person in here with the black eyes? So there's a lot of talk about certain people who've received certain alterations to their DNA. And how they're producing beings who essentially have these like black eyes. And this is like a symptom of sort of the hybridization of the human race. And so I'm seeing something coming through with that hybridization energy. There's going to be something that's affecting these hybrid children and all the people who are in this process of hybridization. Something going on during this eclipse. And this could be along, like the, what am I trying to say here? How some people talk about, we've been talking a lot about sound and frequencies on this live stream today. Transhumanism, there you go, yeah. There's this energy with some sort of, it could be related to like that mind control activation. It could be related to, oh, this is interesting. What I'm actually feeling is that the energies that are coming through right now, this is beautiful, are actually healing this. So the frequency of the planet is getting so high that there is light coming in. There are light codes coming in. There are energies coming in around this lunar eclipse right now that are actually assisting in healing these hybrid children and these hybrid adults who are in this hybridization process as a result of certain things they've taken into their bodies. So that's really powerful. I feel like they're going to be amping up some of the technologies that connect in with this energy. Some people talk about like the 5G and some of these things and how that is supposed to sort of like turn on the software, so to speak. They're going to be amping up some of that stuff, I think, but it's not going to be working the way they're expecting it to work because these energies are coming in and clearing some of that, especially from the children who on one level consented to this, but on another level, well, I guess they did, right? Because they were born into it. They knew they were going to be born into bodies of people who had received these alterations. And I'm talking a little bit guarded because the whole lack of censorship thing is not fully been enforced yet, right? I think we've all noticed that. So there's some energy here with that, with clearing that for the ones who came in to agreeing to incarnate into these bodies in order to help alchemize or transmute some of this energy for the collective. This is real. So that's really interesting. And there are going to be some healings for those who are ready and willing and wanting to be healed. I also feel like there's going to be a level of knowledge transmitted. Like more people are going to be aware of what's going on here. More people, more secrets are going to be revealed in general. Some of these experiments, like more of these government experiments and things, I think are going to be revealed maybe. Maybe more disclosure around the ET stuff. I'm not sure. But there's going to be a level of disclosure. Something that people have been waiting for. I don't think it's going to be the Epstein files yet. Could be. I feel like this is going to be a more esoteric disclosure for some. But there's also a transmutation of this energy. Whew, yeah. That's just like this card. I mean, if you look at that, it's just so, ugh. I'm feeling something with Mars too. Mars re-entering Leo. There's something with when Mars re-enters Leo. And Grim, it's just intuition, just tapping into my intuition. Something with Mars re-entering Leo too, I'm feeling here. Clear. Okay, this is interesting too. I feel like, so what Spirit's saying is those who have chosen what we might call, I don't want to say the lower path. Those who have chosen the path of transhumanism, of hybridization, are going to move more powerfully down that path. Those energies are going to anchor into them more securely. Those who perhaps chose that path at one point, but have developed an awareness of what's going on with that, even if it's just on a health basis of like, that's not a healthy choice for me, or I don't want to live my life, whether it has to do with like the GAB, or if it has to do with other things like just their mentality, where they're focusing their energy, just beginning to notice and liberate themselves from certain patterns and align more with a higher vibration. There's going to be an energy that comes through that helps to heal some and clear some of this energy for them so that they can align with that more organic path. And something about the children, because we had two different groups of children that came in here. We had one group of children who came in who could only incarnate to people whose bodies were what we would call, I guess, pure, not tainted by this energy. And we had other children who came onto this planet specifically through the bodies of people who had been affected, tainted, whatever you want to call it. I don't like using tainted, sounds judgmental. There's no judgment here, but affected by that energy, who had allowed for these, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, somebody can like maybe type it in the chat or something if anyone's unaware. And they came to help uplift it. It's like they're able to tap into and connect with the frequency of this energy that's going to lift and begin this process of transmuting that for the people who have decided that they've rescinded consent, that they no longer consent to being these experiments, that they no longer consent to their sovereignty being taken, their free will being taken, that they no longer consent to sacrificing their humanity. Yeah. So this is powerful. Yeah. And like we said, more advances with technology too. Maybe Musk will come out with something else during this time frame. That's also possible. Yeah. There's going to be things happening. That's all we need to know. And then we got the Virgo card. I analyze. So that's just bringing through that purification energy again. And the importance of that. This is a major cleansing and purification. Oh, Sophie, the solar flares are insane. If you want to know more, I don't know if it'll be good for you to know more or not. But if you want to know more, Stefano Burns, he does a really great job. Like, he gives solar forecasts like pretty much every day, like the cosmic weather, I call it. And he's like super on point. He's really, really good, really intelligent about this stuff. So I really recommend checking him out. Yeah. I'm just checking the comments again. But yeah, the solar activity's been absolutely insane. You're not meant to alchemize all their darkness, honey. That's why. You're taking on too much. You're taking on too much. It's not all yours. This energy of self-care that we were talking about with the Virgo energy here, that's going to be really important for you. Something is activating within you, Grim. That's why. While I'm sharing this, something's activating within you, some type of remembrance. There's something that it's bringing forth, some truth that's connecting within you when you're hearing me speak. When you're within the energy of this collective right now. That's what that's all about. Yeah, D talking about the cyborgs. Exactly, honey. Tainted and pure do hold a judgment of sorts. It's just for lack of a better term. It's just for lack of a better term. People, and it's also because I can't use certain words on here, so it's harder for me to describe. I have to dance around topics. There's a topic that starts with a V that is particularly a no-no on YouTube. And I don't believe they've changed that even since the laws were passed about censorship not being allowed. I don't think YouTube's followed through with that on that front. So I have to be really careful what I say. I really tread the line in these videos. So I'm just doing my best to translate what I'm trying to say, to like speak between the lines, so to speak. Yeah. I did. Yeah. Yep. I mentioned the Archons semi-frequently. If anyone doesn't know what the Archons are, there's a video, the AI inverted matrix. Look that up in the Ascension information and guidance playlist. It's a live stream that I did. Is who not the chief transhuman? The weather, yeah. There's a lot of technology, right? Weapons, weather weapons, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I just started a rest schedule, Amber, and an evening schedule that has to do with I'm also starting an intermittent fasting schedule. That's it. Just keep letting go. Just keep perfecting that art of letting go, Sophie. There's a lot of comments here, you guys. Yeah, today our stream hasn't glitched out. I'm glad that I connected more directly with different internet that seems to be holding up really well. So I'm glad that's been working well today. Musk. Yes and no. Yes and no. Musk is a really fascinating individual. In a lot of ways, he is championing the transhuman movement, but in a lot of other ways, like the what we would call like the AI or the Archon virus, he's actually combating. So he dances between the lines right now. He dances between worlds. He's a very fascinating character, probably the most fascinating character in this whole play, this whole little melodrama of Earth, this season of Earth, if you will, that we're on right now. Yeah, very fascinating. Yeah, Grim. Welcome. Hopefully you come back, brother, and continue connecting with us. Clear. So happy to see you today, to have you hop on with us. Yeah. Fasting is huge, I think. Got the emerald there for people as well. Spiritual healing, heart chakra again. What was I going to say? Fasting is huge. I've been working a lot with my health to get to the point where I felt capable of fasting. And I feel like I am getting to that point. So I'm pretty excited to try. I'm starting with just the easiest intermittent fasting, just really getting strict with the 12 and 12 and then moving it to like 14, whatever. And then working up to a 24-hour fast, and then ultimately a 48-hour fast. So Sophie, there's a lot of reasons, and I'm still learning about it, but it really helps to reset your metabolism. It helps with helping your cells regenerate, like the cells, the dead cells essentially like get removed and sloshed out, and the new cells start to form. It's really regenerative for your entire body. Giving your digestive system a break gives all your other body systems an opportunity. Like your digestive system takes the most energy out of any system of your body. And when we're not burdening that system, our other systems and our regenerative abilities are really able to take hold in a powerful way. So there's a lot of cellular regeneration that happens. There's just a lot of really great things, especially as we get older. Fasting is so important. I'm learning a lot. I'm actually really educating myself about a lot of stuff. Just as I'm nearing the final year of my 30s here, I'm looking into and educating myself for women, particularly as we move into the next phase of our lives, like what's helpful. Intermittent fasting for men and women is really, really helpful, really powerful. You're always, yes, Dee's bringing up the water. Yeah, you're still drinking tons of water, but that's it. Water, black tea, coffee, if you feel called at some point, or any type of tea, like green tea, black tea, water, some coffee if you need it. But really, it really helps with resetting insulin, preventing insulin resistance, blood sugar levels, balancing all of this stuff. It's so incredibly important. One of the most important things as we're moving forward for everyone of all ages, but especially as you start getting older, and especially during this ascension process. And everyone's different. Like I said, I'm not an expert on fasting. So I don't like to give out too much guidance on it, but you can look up intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting there's a bunch of different ways to do it. Some people do it on a daily basis, like they eat for 12, they have a 12-hour window and then they don't eat for 12 hours. The most intense of it is, I think it's like a 6 windows for eating, and then the rest of the day you don't eat, the rest of the 24-hour period. That's what I'm eventually wanting to work up to. And everyone, it's different for different people, what works best for them. And then some people will do a full 24-hour or 48-hour fast, where say they start at like 2 p.m. p.m. one day, and then they don't eat again until 2 p.m. the next day. And it all, like, you got to be safe about this. You got to make sure that your body physically can handle it. You want to clear yourself by a doctor first to make sure that they feel like you're fit for it, would be like the official thing to say to people. You know what I mean? But it can be it's a really powerful tool, fasting. And particularly when we're in these really high vibrational energies, so when we're talking about, we got into a little bit the inverted matrix, right? When we're talking about the transhumanism agenda and the black-eyed children and all of this stuff. All right. And so we're going to go a little bit down the rabbit hole again with some of this stuff. And we're going to talk about how everything has been inverted in this dimension. So even if you think about during holidays, like when typically the religious scriptures tell people to fast, we've actually been trained to gorge ourselves on food, right? Think Thanksgiving, think Christmas, think Easter. It's all about these huge meals where we just gorge ourselves on food, and then we're fat and lethargic, and we're just feeling like crap, right? What we really are meant to be doing during these high windows of high spiritual energy is fasting. Think about all of the greatest religious stories you've heard, not even like traditional religion, but like think about even the story of Reiki, right? When Usui was downloaded with the remembrance of Reiki, he went up onto a mountain and he fasted for, I forget how many days and nights it was. I should remember being a Reiki teacher, but for a certain number of days and nights. All right. It's a way to, when you get rid of all of that processing of all the food and everything that goes along with that, and you purify your body in that sense, like it connects you to your spiritual faculties so much more. It lifts your vibration. And obviously we're human. We need to eat. We need to do these things right now as we're still in this process of transitioning. I think it's going to be a lot easier after 2027 when the DNA upgrades really start taking effect to eat much lighter. For now, it's just like, it's bringing ourselves back into that energy, balancing out that energy as much as we can. And hello, Joni, by the way. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Amber. I love you all so much. I'm so glad that you're here. Yes, DNA. I'm not sure. What did I just say about the DNA? The DNA upgrades. Is that what you're curious about, Haneen? Yes, so there are many prophecies that talk about, and this whole process of ascension, which if you're unfamiliar with that, ascension is this process of remembering who we are, of raising in frequency and vibration as we shift into another level of consciousness and therefore another dimension, because every dimension is simply a different frequency or vibration or level of consciousness, however you want to put it. So in this process, we are changing physically as we ascend within these energies, within these dimensions and these frequencies. It's happening on all levels of being, but it's a core change that's taking place within our DNA. And so in 2027, there is prophesied by multiple different sources to be the beginning of a major shift within the DNA that really changes the biology of the human and moves us into what many are calling the new human. And so we've been within this process for quite a long time now. And this is kind of like one of the final stages of this process. And it's not all going to happen at once. The DNA has been shifting, activating for, like we said, quite a while now, really intensely since 2012. And it's going to continue to do so, but it's really going to pick up speed as we move into 2027. And there's like a key alteration or restoration, I almost want to say, because our DNA was actually altered before. Now it's being restored. And one of these key restorations or activations within our DNA is really going to shift a lot. So we're preparing for that over these next couple of years. And intermittent fasting is a really great way to begin preparing for that. So Stofi says, I eat 2 meals a day. I have no appetite whatsoever, except at night, of course, but I eat a snack at 9 p.m. Whatever time period you're not putting anything that gives you a spike in glucose into your body is considered a fast. So if you're not eating anything, if you eat a snack in between, then you're no longer fasting. But all the time, technically any time that we're not eating, we're fasting. That's where the word breakfast comes from, break fast. It's a break in the fast because when we're sleeping overnight, we're not eating. So we're technically in a fasting state. And in that state of sleep is when we are rejuvenating, when our cells are rejuvenating, when we are healing. So it shows you right there. It's when we're not putting food into our bodies. That is when we're healing. When we put food into our bodies, the whole process begins. It's converted into energy. All of that happens. And that is absolutely necessary. But it's also necessary to have these breaks where we're able to, it's kind of funny, Spirit's almost putting it to me the same way that we talk about retrogrades, like planetary retrogrades. It's like we need that time to integrate. It's like the fasting is our time of integration on a bodily level. That's really interesting to think about. Oh, Ty says the middle of the day is when your digestive system has the most fire. Yeah, I mean, ideally, we shouldn't be eating anything. I know I'm using the word should. It's ideal not to eat anything but 3 hours before you go to bed because it's challenging for the body to sleep and digest at the same time. And we're not getting good quality sleep when we do that. And we're not able to heal and regenerate the way that we're meant to. I have a long history of being a nighttime eater. So that's something that I'm working on shifting out of right now and that is a bit challenging because I think we all like our late night snacks. I have not been, or I could say I have been known at certain times in my life to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and grab a scoop of ice cream on the way by, so, or to wake up ravenous in the middle of the night and eat a Cliff Bar. But I'm working on balancing out all of that energy right now. Clear. I'm working on actually moving into the paleo diet, which is essentially no processed foods, all whole foods, eating more like we ate essentially, or we can imagine we probably ate when we were cavemen. My friend calls it the caveman diet. So I'm working towards that, really focusing on the proteins, the healthy saturated fats and oils, resetting my metabolism. That's where the fasting comes in as well. Getting all those seed oils and all that nasty processed food out of my diet. I've wanted to do it for a really long time, but I've just been tired and lethargic, probably because of eating like crap, right? And hungry. But it's a big shift, but it's really, I think it's going to be really important and really profound. Yeah. Yeah, eating lighter, smaller meals is definitely recommended as well. Yeah. What do you mean by neck therapy, Amber? I'm intrigued here. And you're welcome, Haneem. You can browse. Some of my videos are a little bit outdated. My explanation videos, Haneem, but I have a whole ascension information and energy playlist that you might find interesting. If some of these concepts are newer to you about the ascension and what's going on the planet right now. Yeah. Yes, Ty knows what he's talking about there. Oh, you did? So you liked paleo? Yeah. It's really resonating for me. And even when I did my human design, it was in line with my design type, which is to eat small, non-complex meals of whole foods with very few ingredients. Yeah. Thank you. We're so happy to have you here with us, Haneen. Let's see. Anything else before we close? Yeah, cooking has never been something that I've enjoyed. I'm looking forward to having a private chef. For the time being, I'm just sucking it up and dealing with it. My partner does cook, but he needs the recipes and stuff. So I just bought a recipe book too for the paleo. So hopefully that will make things easier. Moon and Virgo in the second house. Silly Taurus. I know, a Taurus who hates to cook, right? It's like torture. I love to eat, but I hate to cook. So we have the South Node coming out as the last card here. So this is the releasing, the letting go. I feel like there's a lot of karma clearing and releasing during this clear eclipse and this retrograde season as well. All right. I think we're going to have to close, you guys. I'm getting hungry now that we're talking about it. I haven't eaten much today. I had a dentist appointment this morning, and I did have a little bit of lunch when I came back, but clearly it was not It was not fulfilling enough. So we got to go see. I got to start. Now that I got to cook everything, I got to go start dinner. Figure out what I'm going to make here. Clear. Oh, you're holding some selenite right now, Dee. I love that. Leo, full moon and Leo on the end of the deck. I was definitely feeling that Leo energy coming in today. I've been seeing a lot of 8s too, so I might have been thinking about the Lion's Gate, already feeling that energy creeping up on us. This summer, this late spring into summer, like May through September is going to be absolutely insane, you guys, especially May and June. May, June, July, August. All right. So basically May through September. We do lives every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if it has to be rescheduled for some point, I post that in the community tab. And I also get the live stream, like the preview for it uploaded so people can see when the stream's going to be, if it's going to be rescheduled. But typically they're at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time now, I guess it's called, on Wednesdays. Yeah. Clear. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna start chewing some gum right now to kind of ward that off for a minute here. The body is crazy. Everything that I'm learning about the body, and everything that I'm learning about the way that hunger and satiety, hormones and impulses work, and cortisol and sleep and and stress and how it all connects together, and the seed oils and all the crap that they put in our food. Oh my God, don't even get me started on that today. We went through, looking through the cabinets, like things that I would not have even thought would have seed oils in them, had seed oils in them. It was effing disgusting. Anything that comes in a package in the United States of America has seed oils in it. 99.9 of everything. It's maddening. Stuff where you're like, why is this in here? Why is this necessary? What is this doing right now? But I digress. I just threw up my hands. I was like, RFK Jr., what are you doing? I know you've only been in there for a month or so. Month and a half now, probably, or something like that. But like, let's get this moving. Let's incentivize for these companies, since they're not going to ban them outright, I don't think, to make foods that are not slowly killing us. You know what I mean? We would appreciate it a lot. Olive oil is great. Olive oil, I'm a big fan of coconut oil and olive oil. I'm part Italian, so a big fan of the olive oil. And I love coconut oil. It's so good. Like, coconuts are like one of the most magical foods that exists. Clear. Oh, seed oils are awful for you. They're uber processed. Just everything that the process that it takes to create seed oils. Look it up, how seed oils are created and manufactured. The chemicals that they use in order to get them to the point of shelf life and stability. It's like I said, also not an expert on this, but I've watched a lot of stuff. It's you really want to look it up and research it. They are terrible for you. The amount of, I think it's the omega-6s that they have a lot of, but if you don't balance out your omega-3s and omega-6s, it leads to massive inflammation. Did you know? So I was watching this guy. It was the same guy who had made the joke about the vitamin G. And he was talking about, he's a metabolism expert. So he does a lot of videos on fat loss, how to reset your metabolism, stuff like that. I forget his name. He's really fascinating though. But so he was talking about how it takes the shelf life, or the half-life for seed oils is 2 years. So in 2 years, half of the seed oils that are living inside of your fat cells right now will still be there if you stopped eating them all today. Think about that for a minute. It's like the same idea or the same concept as the McDonald's burger that literally stays intact and doesn't decompose after 10 years. That's like what seed oils are. They cause inflammation in the body. They cause us to retain fat. They cause our insulin responses. So they can contribute to diabetes, to cancers. They're so bad for you. They are so toxic. And they're in everything. Canola oil. So the biggest ones are to watch out for: canola oil. What is it? I think it's safflower seed oil, grapeseed oil, corn oil. Ty, help me out. I know you know this too. Any of those oils, they're just right. They're right up there. They're as bad, if not worse, than high fructose corn syrup, which everybody knows about now. They're so bad for you. So bad for you. Even sunflower seed oil should only be used cold. Once you heat it, that's when it starts becoming toxic. When you heat it up. Coconut oil and olive oil, fruit oils are what you want to work with. Oils that are high in saturated fat. And that's one of the reasons they lie to you when they pretend that seed oils are good for you, or that there's no evidence that they're bad, is because they don't have any saturated fat. There are other types of fats that your body can't process properly, but they're not saturated. Because saturated fat has been demonized, but saturated fat is some of the best fat for you. Coconut oil is saturated fat. Avocados are saturated fat. Olive oil is saturated fat. Nuts are saturated fat. Your brain is made of saturated fat. Or your brain is made of fat, and it is fed and fueled by saturated fats. Yeah. So olive oil, avocado oil, that's the other one that I forgot. Avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Those are the best ones to use. And you can use other seed oils if they've been cold, expeller, like cold, what's the word I'm looking for? Cold processed, but you don't want to heat them. Because once you heat them, that's when they start producing all these toxins. Yeah. Ghee, butter and ghee, and beef tallow. Those are great things to cook with. Yeah. 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 Yeah, the whole anti-fat movement was one of the biggest conspiracies that the health department ever played on us. Because saturated fat is necessary. Now, see, look at all the dementia that we have. A big reason we have this huge rise in dementia is because nobody's eating saturated fat. Everybody's eating unnatural fats. And these these sugar substitutes and these fat substitutes that are actually worse than, far worse for you than the natural fats themselves. Yeah, DR is correct. Fasting does help clean the system too. Yeah. So it was so funny. I was reading something too, and it said something like, it's recommended to eat a balanced diet with a balanced amount of seed oil. And I'm like, seed oil is a highly processed food that was created by humans. Why would that be something that's necessary in any type of balanced diet? It's not natural by any means of the word, and it's usually GMO ingredients. Soybean oil, that's the other one. Canola oil and soybean oil and corn oil are the top ones that they use. And then they also use grapeseed oil. And they use these all interchangeably, and they use them because they're so cheap and so easy to mass produce. Yeah. Good, Eve. I'm glad. I've been looking a lot into this because I'm wanting to, continue to get healthier. Cottonseed oil. Yep, that's another one of them. Yeah. It's like how they have like the Dirty Dozen, which is like the most polluted foods. This is like the oil version of the Dirty Dozen. There's like 6 or 7 that are the primary offenders, I guess you could say. Cottonseed oils on there. Grapeseed, cottonseed, corn oil, soybean oil, canola oil. Look it up. Start doing some research. But start looking beyond Google, because remember, Google is controlled information. I wonder what ChatGPT would say. You can find health experts on here on YouTube and see what they have to say about it. Look up RFK Jr. and what he has to say about it. This is why I was so frustrated, because he's been going on about this stuff. He knows about this shit. And these are the reasons we wanted, those of us who wanted him as the health secretary. So we're waiting to see what moves he's going to make regarding this. And he better be making some, I'm telling you what. I still see chemtrails. I know, like I said, it's only been a month and a half. We're moving at warp speed here, generally speaking, when it comes to the energy. And really, in a lot of ways, a lot of the, the government is as well. There's been some questionable things happening politically as well that have really made me kind of wonder what's going on, who's on what side, right? This polarity energy, duality energy. And it's really reminded me of the importance of remembering that I am my own savior, staying strong in my own energy, knowing and understanding that don't look to anyone else as your savior. You know what? A lot of people saw a lot of the things that the current administration in the United States was doing to combat the cabal, the dark shadow government, whatever you want to call them. And a lot of people started looking to them as saviors. But nobody's pure, nobody's perfect, nobody is our savior. Putting our trust and all of our trust and energy and belief and faith and power in somebody else. Doesn't matter who that person is, it doesn't matter what they're doing, it's giving our power away. So it just reminded me to stay balanced in my own power and my own sovereignty and my own creation of my own reality. Because there's some stuff going on where I'm like, wait a minute, what's that about though? And it's important that we keep questioning, and I didn't feel like a lot of those things have been addressed. I know there are some things that we just don't fully understand right now that we need to be patient with as things are being revealed, but there's some stuff that's really, I'm just waiting to see what happens. You know what I mean? Trying to remain as neutral as possible and waiting to see what happens. Mullen, yeah. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Mullen for respiratory stuff. I don't think so. I don't know about that, DR. I think Elon's his own. I think he's a lone wolf. I don't think he's connected in with the secret societies. I think he has his own society. That's just my perception of him. But I think that he is sort of, like I said, he's on the fence. He playing both sides, maybe. I was pretty convinced that he had chosen a side, so to speak. It's all this polarized talk, right? It's so hard to get away from it in this dimension. I think part of the ultimate lesson is to transcend duality. Right? Like to not get so caught up in the us versus them game, the heroine, the heroes versus the villains, you know what I mean? It's hard not to though, because that's the storyline, that's the game in this dimension. But I felt like he chose a side too. I mean, but he does some weird shit sometimes that makes me wonder. I thought he chose the positively polarized side. He does, Trump, they all do some weird shit sometimes lately where I'm just like, I don't fully recognize and understand. But that's why I just stay in my own sovereignty. There's so many different possibilities. There's the possibility that we've just been played this whole time. Controlled opposition, right? I don't really think that's what's going on, but yeah, I did see that, DR. The whole thing with his son is weird. It's weird. I don't know why he brings him to all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he just wants him to be able to experience it. Like, what kid can say that they've done that? But yeah, there's a level of not really being so respectful. And you can tell Trump just thinks he's cute. You know what I mean? Like, he's just amused by him. He doesn't really care. But it's interesting. Yeah, how he's always in all these interviews. I saw one that was really creepy the other day. Really creepy the other day with his son. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of weird shit going on, you guys. This was the year. I talked about it. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. Go down the rabbit hole. We're going to be taken further and further down the rabbit hole. Every time we think we know something else is going to come out and slap us in the face, and we're going to be like, all right, what the hell is going on now? You know what I mean? That's why mastering our inner world is the most important thing right now. Yeah. Yeah, there's some weird, yeah, DR. There is some weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't think Elon is evil. Whatever that means, right? I don't know. I just think there's some funky, there's some stuff going on. I think there's some stuff going on. We'll put it that way. Yeah, exactly. Kiana says, in the midst of so much chaos, I'm choosing to stay grounded and focus on how I love and how show more kindness every day. That's it right there. That's all we can do. I am my own savior. I create my own reality. This is the time of the great reveal. And maybe the people that we thought were doing the revealing are also going to be revealed. And who and what they're revealed as is going to be another shocker. But guess what? Spoiler alert, it doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that I know who I am. You know who you are. We know why we're here. And we're continuing to move forward on that. We're continuing to act on that every single day by being in our power, by healing, by growing, by showing up, suiting up and showing up for whatever it is that each day brings. Our collective energy is what has created this awakening. We asked for the truth, and the truth is being revealed. We don't even really know. A lot of us thought that we knew what the truth was when we asked for it. We may not have necessarily, we didn't know everything we thought we knew. But that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's doing what. All of these forces that seek to control and dominate are being revealed, and their power is being dissolved. Their power over us. This is that brings us right back to that energy of I am free. I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. When I know what that truly means, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. That's the life, that's the reality that I live every day. And as I live that reality, and as other people live that reality too, the collective reality supports that experience, period. So anybody who's a double agent, anybody who's doing this funky shit, it's all going to come out in the wash. And perhaps if the leaders that the revolution is electing are not truly what they appear to be, then they will be replaced by those who are, by those who do walk their talk. This is the age of walking your talk. This is the year for walking your talk. Anything else will not work. We have Pluto right now connecting with the Shapley attractor, squaring the Shapley attractor. Shapley attractor is the point that reveals all energies, all intentions, all motivations. It is the ultimate point of power within our galaxy. It's all coming out. Nothing will remain hidden. So we just stand in our sovereignty, like we said, stand in our power. Continue to cultivate our own capabilities as conscious creators. Call in that abundance. Call in that, yes, good fortune. Continue to be of service to another and to the planet. And keep the focus on what it is that we know we're creating. I'm getting ready to do a video on predictive programming, talking about how they show us certain things in movies and TV on the news in order to get us to create a certain timeline. Even on social media, Ty and I were talking about this the other day, right? Your attention, your intention is the most powerful tool that there is. Your mind is what creates our reality. And everybody is fighting for a piece of it. Everybody wants control of your mind because your mind is the crown jewel within this creation. It is from your mind that all of what we call reality springs forth. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Your mind and your heart. Your intention, your attention. So don't let them hijack that. They did that for a long time. That's no longer the case. They're going to do everything they can to get that control back, to get your attention back. Choose where you place that attention and watch what you focus your attention and your emotion on grow. We know this now. We know our power. So it doesn't matter who's who. It doesn't matter who's playing what, who's doing what behind our backs in the shadows. None of that matters because we know who we are now. Anything that any of them tried to do, whatever you want to call them, the cabal, the deep state, shadow government, the reptilians, the archons, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They've already lost because they only had control as long as we did not remember who we were. We remember now, and the whole game's changed permanently. So just sit back, get some popcorn, watch. Keep healing, keep growing, keep loving, keep living, keep being of service. Don't worry about the rest. Keep focusing on what it is that we are creating. Focus on what brings you joy, what brings you bliss, what lights you the fuck up. All right? I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me today. The veil is so thin. Absolutely. No. All right. I think I've been saying for like the past half hour, 40 minutes that it was time to go. So I am going to go now. I appreciate you all so much. I'll see you back here next Wednesday. I'll have more videos coming out as the week passes, I'm sure. I just released 2 of the past 2 days, so there's plenty to watch if people haven't caught up yet. Delving deeper into these energies and different themes. Wherever Spirit's taking me. Some of it feels a little bit rambly, but it's really just whatever Spirit wants me to talk about that's related to the energies. So check out those videos. We'll talk again soon. Anybody who wants to join the channel, once again, welcoming our beautiful new member to the channel. You can join the membership on this channel. There's all kinds of perks for you if you do choose to join. And you can find all those listed on the membership page. If you click on the membership link. What else? And the Patreon. We do bi-weekly live calls. We do meditations together. We just connect, share energy, share frequency off of the, well, it's still on the internet, but in a more private setting. So if any of you are interested in that, there's a link to do that in the description box as well if you want to join the Patreon. And yeah, I offer one-on-one coaching, all kinds of different things. So anyone who's new, if you are looking to develop, to learn more, to grow, and you want any more focused assistance with that, email me, reach out to me. That's all in the description box as well. You're all beautiful. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful eclipse. And I'm sorry. I had to pause here because Sophie's comment here. You know your spiritual gifts, girl. Come on now. Were you here for the part of the reading where we talked about how this eclipse season was going to be revealing exactly what you're asking about right now, Sophie? The next phase of your purpose on this planet? You're being prepared to receive that information right now. Clear. And all the circumstances that you're navigating in your life right now are training you for it. So do not despair, my dear. All of that is becoming increasingly clear. And also I want to say hello. I think I saw Amanda hopping on there. So hello, beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to see the dandelions again. Hello, Divine Feminine. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. There's that alignment. There's another angel number for everyone. I know a few people said they were seeing the 1, 2, 3, 4s. There's some more right there. Thank you for bringing through that synchronicity for everyone, Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine in alignment right there. Fucking love it. We're all of our Divine Feminine is coming into alignment right now. Clear as we move through Venus retrograde. That Scorpio energy, working through your fears. Anybody who's working through fears right now, we had a whole little mini session on that at the beginning of this reading. Clear. So there might be some tools in there if you're looking for tools to help understand your limiting belief systems, to help understand your fears. We walked through that a little bit with somebody earlier. So check out the beginning of this live stream for that. There's all kinds of, this was a great stream today. So much that we covered, so many different aspects to this energy and just life in general, right? Our healing process, growth, evolution. Clear. Love you too. Love you all so much infinitely. All right. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you next Wednesday. Goodbye, loves.